Hi everybody, I'm Joey. Well, today we'll be making my dining table. And first thing is thanks to Timothy Coleman, Furniture Makers. Go check him out on Instagram. I completely stole his design. He gave me permission, so thank you. Go give him a like and a follow. Otherwise, let's get on with the build. Okay, so these scribbles are, this is my full-size layout. So we've got the ground and top of my dining table here. So we're looking at a profile of one of the leg assemblies. So I've just been sketching out some rough designs of how the leg's going to kind of fit in. I then have created, again, a couple of very rough patterns based off these drawings, but again, very rough. And so now I'm going to take these patterns over to my bench and start cleaning up the lines with a spokeshave, I think. Okay, so I've got this leftover board of Iroko from the sofa build I did just before Christmas. This is a nice piece of quarter sawn stuff that we had left over, so I'm going to use this to make the base of the table. So I'm just going to nest these as best I can along this plank. So fairly often I'm asked how long it takes to make some of these pieces, so I thought I'd run you through how long it takes me to make this piece as we go. So I started this pretty late one afternoon, so this is pretty much the end of that first afternoon, just cutting out these pieces on the bandsaw. So first thing the next morning, I started cutting up my red oak for the top. I had bought a big packet load of this red oak for all the furniture in my house, so it's all 20mm thick, so just thickness it down to what it needed to be, and I could start gluing it up into twice as thick for the tabletop. These smaller pieces went off into my press, while the bigger pieces I just clamp up. So while that is drying, I can finish cutting out the pieces for the leg assemblies. So that is 2 hours have gone by, so I can pull these boards out of the clamps and start edge jointing them. So with the top and the clamps, I can get back to joining the legs together. And it's getting a bit too late in the afternoon here to do maths, but I need to work out the center piece of the leg structure. So first I need to join a couple of big blocks of Iroko together with a halving joint. And that's another 2 hours gone, so I can pull the top out of the clamps and try and cut a circle. And the only bit I have that would really work for this job is a down cut bit, which is not ideal, but it gets through there eventually. And you can see there that it is bear o'clock, so that signals the end of the first day. It was right on the edge, so I had to come in and shift my center point because this bit of wood's 3-4 mil too short, so I had to...
Oh, that's it, what it was.
Yeah. So first thing in the morning, I can get into sanding the bottom of the top and putting the large round over around the edge. And then I can flip it over and clean up some of the joins. So I thought I'd try out this Minwax fast dry polyurethane. Actually, it's really nice stuff. It's perfect consistency right out of the can, or at least in my temperature it is. So I was really impressed actually. And while that coat is drying, I can get on to sanding all the leg parts. So with the dry fit seeming to work out, I needed to work out the dimensions of the pieces of the ring that sits on top of the legs. And with that template cut out, I could screw that to the roughed out pieces of red oak and then trim them to size. My parents dropped by, so I got them to help hold everything in place as best we could, so I could mark out the position of the leg to the ring. So it's about here I'd say that the joinery on this is not stupendously perfect, and I was very much relying on the epoxy filling a few gaps here and there, just because I didn't have the geometry of everything just dialed in perfectly, and I was largely doing a lot of this by eye, so while it all went together fine and it works, it could have been a bit tidier. And time for another coat on the tabletop, and that was the end of the second full day. And then I just used really, I think 80 grit paper to blend everything in, and then work my way back through the grits down to hand sanding everything to 240, I think. So it's still pretty early in the morning getting this first coat on. I managed to get another coat on during the day, so the base gets 2 coats, and then it was time to get it home. So all up, that was 3 full days of work. I was helped greatly by the super warm weather for all the drying of the polyurethane. So yeah, that's how long it takes to make a table. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.